now on a different platform. Let me try to find, how do I share this link? I am like
I got it.
struggling.
I think I got it.
You got a link to the live one now?
Yes.
Oh, you are amazing. Yes. This is hilarious. Hey, welcome. If you are here, we had to switch platforms to try to get live. I don't know what I did wrong. I did something wrong. But welcome. And, join us over here on the live stream. Uh, I am looking for the link to give to people, and I still can't. Find it. Oh, there's
Um,
3 people. I see 3 people on here. Hey, if you're here, throw something in the chat because I'm struggling over here, and I just need like a little bit of like, I don't know, just a little bit of love right now. So if you're in here, let me know in the comments that you are in here because I am just botching this thing left and right. Did you find a link?
yes, and I sent it to like the group.
Did you put it in the chat over there
Oh,
of the other? Oh, yes. Oh, there are people here. Yeah, there's a pretty face for a change. Yeah, thanks, Mac. Look, way to kick me while I'm down right now because right now I am not feeling good about myself. I am struggling. I literally had to change platforms, and then you just come over here and kick me while I'm down. So I appreciate that actually. Welcome back, Nick. Awesome, John. Thanks for looking for me. You have found me, and more importantly, you found Brittany. Ty, as always, what's going on? And Glenn, hey, how's it going? Hopefully we can get everybody migrated over to this link. And hopefully I'm done botching this thing. I'm embarrassed right now. I feel like the old guy. Yeah, thank you, Tom. Gosh, thank you. I knew that I like you. Uh, everybody rides the struggle bus once in a while. I appreciate that. I feel like that old guy who's like, technology, I don't understand it. And it's just, I'm not ready to be that guy yet, but I feel like I am today and I'm not liking it. So, anyways, welcome, Brittany. How are you doing? You are saving the day over here.
I'm doing well. I hope everyone else is doing well.
Yes. And if you guys don't know Brittany is the owner, founder, guru of Center Social.
Yes.
And she was the most recent podcast guest also. And Candace, welcome. Oh, actually, she's saying hi to you. So you
Oh,
know what?
hi, Candace.
Yeah, you say hi to her. No, and Brittany was the most recent podcast guest. She does social media marketing for laundromats. And we talked about, when she came on the podcast, let's do a live Q&A and let's get people on here who have questions about social media and social media marketing in their businesses, or if you're looking to start a laundromat business, awesome to get a good jump on that
Mhm.
too. So Brittany, how are you doing?
I am doing well. I'm excited to hear from everyone. Candace, I like your last name. My mom's maiden name was actually Bryant.
Maybe you guys are related.
Possibly.
Do you think? Maybe not. Maybe not. Well, awesome. And just give us a tiny little background on you. I mean, you had a big event happen today.
I did, yeah.
This is a big
Um,
day.
so so marketing wise, I was lucky enough to get a job right out of college with I live in Kentucky, bourbon capital of the world, and I was lucky enough right out of college to get a marketing director position in the bourbon industry. And so since then, I'm just going to make this really short. And then I started my own company, and then laundromat people started reaching out. And so that transpired to we market over 100 laundromats now and over 10 distributors now. Um, and the big life event is that my 3 little boys talked me into trying to hatch duck eggs, and 3 of them have hatched in like the last 3 hours. So now I have baby ducks over there, and if you guys hear them, um, they're just over there.
Yes. Quacking away. Baby ducks. How adorable.
Mhm.
Hey, while we're chatting here, if you have questions regarding social media, marketing, how Brittany got such great hair, or what's going on behind Brittany's head, which is also an interesting story, get those questions rolling in now, and we'll start lining them up and knocking them down here, because we are here. The whole point of this is to help you guys either, get into this business and have an idea of what to do on social media marketing that business, or if you already own laundromats, the whole point here is to help you guys either jumpstart or add rocket fuel to your social media marketing. And you've got the guru here, so if you've got questions, get them in here, and we will start knocking them down. But while the questions are rolling in, because they're going to be rolling in, what is going on behind your head there?
Chameleons. So they're
Okay.
chameleon enclosures behind us. My 6-year-old wanted to start a chameleon business, and so
Baking duck 24-hour notice. Oh gosh. It's too soon, Mac. It's too soon. Mac's throwing shade today.
Yep. So he wanted to start a chameleon business, and I really fell in love with chameleons once he started getting reptiles. And so now we have 17 adult chameleons. We are down to just 5 baby chameleons because we've been selling them. And then we have over 200 eggs incubating.
200 chameleon eggs incubating.
Yes, and we also have 10 bearded dragon eggs incubating now.
That is, oh my gosh. What are you going to do with all of them? What do you, sell them, I guess. But what if, do you ever have the fear, like, what if you can't sell the eggs and you end up with like 200 chameleons and a dozen bearded dragons?
That would almost be my dream world.
Okay.
No, that is a serious fear. But we've gone to 2 reptile shows, like actually as vendors, and we've already started selling them, and people are asking for them. All right, so we have some questions.
Yeah. All right. So we'll keep those questions rolling in. We're done talking chameleons. We're done talking baby ducks. We're probably not done talking your hair. We got to get some hairstyling tips later. But let's jump to Nick's question first. Good platform from laundromats: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, depends on the demographics. How do we think about this? How do we wrap our head around what a good platform is for a laundromat?
Okay, so first of all, you have to know your platform. With Facebook is always going to be a great platform, especially if you're wanting to reach like the demographic of 35 to like 80. Twitter, I mean, there's so much changes with Twitter. A year ago, I would have told you like absolutely like not. So when I first started Center Social in 2014, we did marketing on Facebook and Twitter, and then Twitter changed. It became a lot of politics and everything like that. But at the moment, it's still not. I mean, if you're a celebrity or like an influencer or something like that, then Twitter can be beneficial. Now, with the change of like a new owner, we don't know what's coming with Twitter. So it could possibly change back to Twitter. But as of now, no, Twitter is not anywhere that you want to be. Instagram, 100%, especially to catch the younger demographic, but older people are also getting on Instagram.
Yeah. So, okay. So we're looking at Instagram and Facebook, TikTok.
Yes. So we're still, yes, it's still very much up in the air. We're waiting to see exactly what's going to happen with TikTok, but yes, it's very beneficial. Like one of the laundromats that we work for posted a TikTok video literally of just the washer spinning, and it got 800 views.
Sweet.
In a matter of like 2 days. Yes.
So Nick, I mean, just imagine if you were doing your dance routine on top of one of these spinning washers, how many views you could get, and how Yeah, Glenn's like, ew, TikTok.
I know.
No, I
Lots of people
know.
do it.
I
And
think
that's
we all
why,
feel that way.
yes. And then we're still we still don't know. Like we're waiting on to see. So if TikTok does not officially get canceled, then you're gonna have to do it. Like every business is gonna have to do it. But we're still just waiting. I mean, it's essentially a waiting game right now.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, and I mean, TikTok is one of those platforms that, it's new on the scene, and the thing that makes it appealing right now is that it hasn't yet gotten to that point where it's pay to play. I mean, it is a little bit, but not yet. Facebook and Instagram, those ones are a lot of pay to play. It's hard to get views and visibility sometimes on those platforms unless you're actually buying ads. TikTok still, there's that kind of free, you know,
Hmm.
views, that free exposure that you can still get right now. But there's a lot of kind of question marks
Hmm.
surrounding that also. So it's just kind of interesting one. Real quick, Justin, I will check the spam folder and see if all your emails ended up in the spam folder. I'm not ignoring you on purpose, so I'll double check that. I definitely remember our Zoom call. So um, yeah, awesome, Nick. Nick, please, when you start sharing your TikTok dancing videos at a laundromat, let us know, and we all want to see that. And may I
Yes.
just recommend do the dancing in a speedo for the views, and you'll thank me later. That's directly going to translate to the bottom line somehow. I'm
Oh,
pretty
by the
confident.
way, hi Trenton.
Yeah. Good. Awesome question. So definitely Facebook and Instagram. If you are bold enough, Twitter. And I joke about, dancing and, all that. That's kind of the joke reputation of TikTok, not Twitter, TikTok. Uh, but even just going on and show, like you said, showing, what's happening in your laundromat, showing what you're like, literally, I guess, what your machines are doing, which is
Yeah.
just spinning clothes around. All of that can help gain exposure. Now, the whole point is to try to convert these eyeballs, which we're going to talk about. I'm going to ask you questions. If nobody else asks you, I'm going to ask you questions. But how do we
Mhm.
convert these eyeballs to actual solid, dollars or digital dollars, I guess, too. We'll take if we take card. So we're going to talk about that. But before we get into that, Candace has a great question because Candace is going the way that quite a few people have ventured into.
Mhm.
Most notably, at least in my life and in my book, is Mark Vlaskamp from The Fold, who has built a gigantic booming business. And he started out just the way you did, Candace. So we'll talk about tips for your business model, which is running a pickup and delivery service without a laundromat when it comes to social media here in a second. But my biggest tip for you is go listen to Mark Vlaskamp's 2 episodes on the podcast and especially that first episode. I can't remember the number of it off the top of my head, but you can search it, Mark Vlaskamp. And he talks about how he got started and some of the the struggles and some of the things that worked for him. He's an awesome guy and an awesome resource. But when it comes to social media, what tips
Mhm.
do you have for Candace running a pickup and delivery with no laundromat?
Make sure that you have landing pages and that you're directing traffic to the landing pages. Also, at the same time, run other ads. So Facebook and Instagram, like they push to other platforms like your website or YouTube or something like that. But they really want you to stay within their network because that's how they make the most money, which means that you're going to get the most results. So make sure that you're running ads to get like lead generation within their platforms. And then also ads that's going to push to your website. And a lot of people don't realize that. Also, one of the biggest things right now is the don't narrow down your targeting too specific whenever you're running an ad. Also, if you are just boosting a post, that's almost pointless. Like you have to go into actual Meta Business Suite and go in the back end to run ads.
Yeah, and I actually think you're Candace. I think you're on the right side of the business for this to be specifically like effective for you. I think, well, and we kind of had this discussion a little bit, and you sort of disagree with me a little bit, but I'm just going to reiterate my thoughts on it, and then you can slap me around on it again. But I think on the pickup and delivery side, and on the drop off side, the service side of the business, it plays better in my view, which is the wrong view according to Brittany, but it plays better with social media and social media marketing than even self-serve does, which doesn't necessarily play poorly with the self-serve side, but I think it plays even better with the pickup and delivery, partially because it's a little bit easier to track in my view, which you disagreed with, which makes me automatically wrong because you're the expert. And number two, there's kind of more going on, and you can actually showcase a little bit more of the business, from like driving around town to actually picking up laundry to actually processing the laundry, and all that. So you've got a little more options in my view, which again is the wrong view.
No, that's correct. You do.
Okay, that part's good. Okay, that part's good. I'm good there. Okay. So I don't know if you want to respond to any of that and embarrass me in front of all of my friends, but you can do that.
No, like you definitely. So the pickup and delivery regarding social media is the hardest part to actually turn into the results. So self-service, I mean, it's just easier to get those customers. But pickup and delivery, like you have to, it's a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm laughing. The comments are coming in and they're making but like if you're doing it correctly and really working on it, like it's not going to be an overnight thing. Like self-service, you can almost always get pretty much within a month or two. But pick up and delivery, like you have to really push that out there. And so the powerful thing about social media is that you can let people know that you have this service that they could use by targeting the demographics and the higher incomes. And so one thing, here's how I'll describe pickup and delivery. You need to reach the mom who is working 40 to 60 hours a week. Or dad, just the parent that is working 40 to 60 hours a week, and who is exhausted, but at the same time doesn't want to spend their entire weekend doing laundry. Like they want to hang out with their kids, or their kids have a soccer game or a baseball game or something like that. And so that's the people that you're going after. First of all, I mean, there's also other people, but like targeting, that is who you want to go after initially whenever you're really pushing pickup and delivery, so you're with social media, you get to find people that aren't necessarily looking for you. Like if you go on Google, like in order to get those clients, like they're searching for you most of the time. With social media, you're targeting them and they don't even know if they want you or need you. But they have the income to spend on pickup and delivery in order to use your services. And then you entice them to use your services.
Yeah. So, okay. So, I mean, I want to target that a little bit with Ocean Van, who's asking the question. So I'm going to throw that question out there, but I just want to also highlight that I want to highlight the best comments that in questions and stuff that pop up. So let's just highlight a comment here real quick. Not that one. Thanks, Justin. Embarrassing me. No, this one right here. Yeah. So Glenn he just really is bringing like the great comments and stuff. So I just wanted to highlight. I'm just kidding. Glenn, thank you. I appreciate that. But okay. So Ocean Van coming with the question, and you kind of started hitting on that, but let's talk a little bit about that. Like, what are some tips on converting leads from social media to actual sales here? And like I said, you started talking about that. Let's keep on that train.
Yes. So sorry, once again, the comment made me laugh. So tips to convert. Okay. So one of the biggest misconceptions about social media is that you always are going to know the ROI. I mean, and you're not. Like, that's just not how it is. It is a lot. It is like, in my opinion, 90% brand awareness. You're doing it because people are going to know your brand. They're going to see you. And so, especially for pickup and delivery, they're going to have to see your brand many times before um, before that they are going to actually like invest or try up. Now, so brand awareness is what the primary focus of social media is. That you're letting people know that you're there. You're letting people know that you exist. Then you add into the different types of advertising on social media. So you can do like the local, like advertising your business in the local area and letting them know, like, oh, hey, there's a laundromat near me, or there's pick and delivery near you, or pick up and delivery or wash our phone near you. And then there's so many different things that you can do with social media, but the beginning of it is brand awareness, and I always like to stress that. And you can do lead generation. You can do like directions to your laundromat. You can do lead generations where you're linking them to go to your website to sign up for pick up and delivery or wash dry fold. So there's so many things that you can do, but you've got to understand that in the beginning you have to build that brand awareness.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing, I'm just to kind of piggyback on that. I mean, social media it's your opportunity to build relationships, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's the whole like, hey, people do business with people they know, like, and trust, and that has kind of become this little like cliche that you hear all the time, but it's sort of true. And so, I mean, I think the key to converting social media eyeballs to sales is to build relationships with people, because people want to do business with people they feel like they know and who understand them and they had this relationship with, right?
Yes,
And
and so
so go ahead. Yeah.
that's why it has to be real life, like, and that's why you have to post often. Like, people want to see what's actually going on. Like, they want to see like what you're doing or what your attendants are doing. They want to see the actual like wash dry fold process. They want to see the pick and delivery process. And so it's very important to show them the real life content of what is truly going on.
Yeah. And even you like highlight yourself in the business, or if you don't want to highlight yourself, highlight your staff members, or if you don't want to do that, highlight customers who are willing to be highlighted, because that helps them, feel like they know who they're doing business with. And so that's where social media can be really, really powerful, because it's a way to build relationships at scale that you couldn't do necessarily one-on-one. And you should utilize social media in that way, not in a manipulative way, but actually to build relationships with the communities, because it will lead to sales and it will lead to the bottom line.
Mhm.
I just want to point out and highlight this. I'm just catching up on comments here, guys. So I'm over here chuckling, but I just want everybody to have seen this. That Nick said we'll be the first to get the videos of him dancing in a Speedo. I'm just going to throw that in there for TikTok. So look forward to that, because that's coming. And he says he's going to add glitter to the dryer, which is going to be great. So Rudy, pumped to have you. Awesome insight there. Glenn has a great question for somebody who's brand new into doing this kind of stuff, which is, are there any fees that come along with growing your business on all these platforms, no matter how large the business gets?
Not on social media. If you're doing like email marketing, like getting the content, getting content from, sorry, this comments are
It's hard. It's so distracting. I know.
are.
I'm so behind because I'm trying to like write down the questions. So I get them like I'm like way down the line here,
Yes.
but keep going.
But no, like if you're doing an email blasting where you're gathering like the emails or like contact information, that's the only time that there would be fees at this moment. But there's fees for actually utilizing ad spend on social media.
Right. Yeah. So social media platforms, all free. It's when I say, so I mentioned pay to play. So I'm not sure if that's what we're talking about here, but when I say pay to play, that means buying paid ads, basically to show up to more people and to be able to more specifically target your demographic that you're looking for. So that's what I mean by pay to play. There's so many comments about Nick. Nick is just on fire over here. Nick and Glenn are just in Mac. Oh gosh, man, this is great. Okay, Rudy, pumped you are here. Looks like I missed more emails. I'm sorry. I will check the email thing out and see what is going on there. Okay. Oh, here's a great question. Because this is huge in terms of showing up and being sort of on the SEO side. And maybe you can talk about this and I can chime in too. But what techniques can you use to get customer reviews that will help you move up Google on the Google listings?
So as far as moving up on Google listings, a lot of people don't realize that it's all like everything that you do online, it's all intertwined and it all works together. So first of all, your website has to be updated monthly, weekly, really, if you could. And then second of all, your Google My Business page needs to be updated frequently. Um, Google also now ranks you on your social media. So like before, like back in the day, whoever paid the most, like on Google Ads, was going to be on the top. And then everybody started paying, so they had to distinguish who was going to be ranked higher. And so then they started ranking you based on how often your website is updated, how often your Google My Business is updated, how your social media. So like even, and that's where your brand awareness comes from social media, part of it is that if you don't have a good social media page or you're not updating it currently, then that also plays into how Google is allowing you to be seen on their search engines.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, the reviews they're huge too, especially in the SEO stuff. And, when you get into like Google Maps and, all that stuff showing up, the reviews play a huge role. And so, when you're looking at trying to get reviews, the best thing that I have found that's worked in order to get reviews on Google or Yelp or whatever you're trying to get reviews on, specifically Google, but both, is ask for them.
Yep.
Ask your train your staff to ask for customer reviews and just kind of hammer it in over and over and over. That is the best way to get legitimate reviews. Now you can do things like buy reviews and stuff like that. I do not recommend that. That is a great way to
get you shut down
and drop you right off of Google completely.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you're technically not even supposed to incentivize customers. Well, I think you're not supposed to incentivize customers giving 5-star reviews.
Yeah, you just have to ask them for reviews. I have a lot of laundromats that will like post like, are you happy with our service? Like leave us a review and like have a QR code that will link them to the Google review.
Don't look at the comments while you're talking. You can't do it.
I know
it's too distracting. Yeah. And so, and again, like making it as frictionless as possible, right? Like having a QR code that they could scan real quick to do a review makes it super easy. If you are collecting like phone numbers or email addresses, just periodically sending out, hey, would you mind leaving us a review, and dropping the link there, make it super easy. And even just saying, because it helps us out a lot. When you add that, because there's studies on this, and it's kind of weird that, I can't remember. There's one of the business books or personal development books or whatever I read. Maybe one of you guys knows, and I'll get to that comment in like 20 minutes when I get all the way down there. But, it was like, if you say it because, even if the because after is irrelevant, it's not even related to the reasoning, that, you're more likely to get a positive response from that. So even, just by saying, hey, would you mind leaving us a review because it really helps us out? That is pretty powerful there. So, yeah. So, and I believe, don't quote me on this, I believe you can incentivize leaving a review. So if you want to say, hey, free wash, if you leave us a review, just screenshot your whatever. I think you can't incentivize a 5-star review and say, oh, you only gave us 4 stars. Now who's policing that? I don't know, but I always recommend, hey, go above board, buy the book, and you'll never have to, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. So, Sarge Gaiman, welcome. Glenn and I have a great time at Chuck E. Cheese, probably weekly. That's, that's how we roll over here. Another great question that has to do with this is, can you remove older owner reviews that has a negative effect on your overall rating?
No. I mean, you can like reach out and ask Google to remove them and request that they be removed, but no. Like Google has that final decision. Now I have seen with clients, like if something was about race or something like that, then at that point, that's the only time that I have seen Google actually remove reviews. But
Yeah. Yeah. And it's hard to get anything removed. And you know what, the most effective thing that I've seen is to just go on a warpath, a campaign to overwhelm the negative reviews with
yes,
positive reviews. That has been
yes.
the most effective.
and and this is what okay, so this is very important for every business owner out there, no matter what you own. You're going to get a negative review if you have, but at the same time, if you have like 10 great reviews and then you have 500 negative reviews, then obviously that's a problem. But most people go in and actually look at the reviews if they're deciding to use your business or not. And so, like, if I'm judging a company, and lots of people that I talk to, like, we look to see the negative as well as the positive. And like, you can usually see, like, okay, this person is just like probably crazy. Like they just have serious problems. But if you have, so if you have 500 great reviews and 2 negative reviews, then I mean, that's going to equal out. And then people are also going to leave negative reviews. For my son's business, the Chameleon business, some person really like just went nuts on him recently because he showed up on his news feed about a chameleon, which obviously the guy did not know how the algorithm works. Is that, for him to magically pop up on his news feed without, and it wasn't paid or anything, but the guy obviously had to be interested in some part of like chameleons or reptiles or something like that. And so I just used it as a marketing tactic. He filmed it, my 6-year-old filmed a video and that said, today's a really exciting day. We got our first hater comment because, haters are going to hate. And that's what he said. And then the Taylor Swift song started playing, haters going to hate. And then like I handed him his chameleon in the video. It blew up, got lots of views, lots of likes. And so like, and my point of telling you guys this is that like you can use sometimes like negative comments or negative reviews and make them good. Also, on social media, if people are commenting on your post or your videos or your reels or anything like that, as long as they're commenting, you're going to get more views from that. Now, we can hide them, we can delete them, but like the saying bad publicity is still publicity, that's exactly how it is on social media.
Yeah. And real quick, Candace, I don't know if you're still in here, but the fold I just saw is Mark Vlaskamp. The fold is in the house. Mark, we were talking about you earlier there. So check out, I think James said episode 20 of the podcast is Mark's first episode there. Real quick, Ross, I just want to highlight this. Ross Dodds, who's in the house, legend also. Mark and Ross, both legends here. Says he's been lucky and been able to actually get Google to actually recognize that the previous business is closed down and start a fresh business at the same location. So that's your main way of getting around that. So if you got a bunch of bad reviews, you can tell Google, hey, this business is no longer there. This new business is here.
Yes, sorry, I misunderstood the question. Yes, like if a new owner is taking over, like you can do that and get them to shut the old one down. But I understood, like as far as just like a customer writing you a bad review, then that's harder to get taken down.
Right. Yeah. And so the question was, if the previous owner was left a bad review because they were mismanaging, they had a zombie mat, and you come in and you're like, I'm awesome now.
I would always recommend starting over.
Yeah.
You're not going to recover from that. And then also you can post on like Google My Business, and update the pictures and like under new management in the post. And so that is going to, if people are looking at you on Google, that's going to make them realize like, oh, it's new ownership and this is totally different than prior.
That is a beautiful transition. April, welcome. April Ashley from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Awesome. Way to represent. Asked, how do you post on Google My Business? And before you answer,
I
I just
saw.
want to point out that it is now Google Business Profile.
I know.
And not to you, I know, even though you did say Google My
I
Business.
know. It's,
It's hard. It's hard because I called it that forever too. And then you have to change it. Yeah, but I did drop a link in the comments there, and that link is directly from Google on how to post on your Google Business Profile. But if you want to comment on that, Brittany, and maybe while you're at it, talk about if there are any benefits of doing that, post into your Google Business Profile.
Oh, 100%. And April, will you comment? I'm pretty sure I saw you in Chattanooga last week, at the Laundromat show. I just want to make sure if that's the same person. I could be totally wrong. But yes, so part of posting, and updating. So like if there's some laundromats that are closed on like Easter or um, I don't know, pick a holiday, 4th of July, something like that. And so updating your hours is always very important, but also updating like your content. So like you can post onto your Google, I'm still going to call it My Business page because it's just habit. But you update pictures, and it's just like posting on like Facebook or Instagram, and you update like, oh, we're doing like wash dry fold now, or like wash dry fold promotion, or pick and delivery promotion. So yes, it is very much very beneficial. Okay. All right. To post on Google My Business, like as frequently as you can, because so you're posting, you're getting your customers who are researching for you or trying to find you, and then you're also giving them more information, and then it's also going to help with your SEO.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to highlight, if you haven't yet checked out episode 114 of the podcast, which is not Brittany's the last one, but the one before that, that episode is incredible. And the whole back half of that episode, he walks you through his exact process that he goes through for marketing. It is like a gold mine on top of a gold mine. So if you haven't checked out episode 114, go check that out. But the reason I bring that up here is because one of the things that he says is it's like free money laying around on the ground just to post consistently to your Google Business Profile, because that is what that is what they want to be seeing, right? They're going to highlight people who are posting on their platform. Yes, it helps you to post on your other social, which he talks about also. And one thing I want to highlight, well, hold on. But post on your Google Business Profile, because Google wants to see that, and you're more likely to rank higher in Google when you're interacting on their platform. The other thing I wanted to mention real quick that he says in that is one of the biggest benefits of posting on your social media accounts is not necessarily the eyeballs you're going to get from the people who follow your page or any of that. One of the biggest benefits is actually that you're going to start showing up on the first page of Google. And Michael breaks it down and he's like, hey, look, if you search for a laundromat in my area, I think is in Daytona, he holds like 8 or 9 of the top 10 spots because it's his website, and then it's his social profiles all are down there. So he holds all these spots. And so if people are looking for a laundromat in the area, they're not even going to be able to find another laundromat besides his. So it helps with your SEO to be active posting on social, even if it looks like nobody's really even interacting with your content for that SEO purpose there.
Yes, and that's also very important, is because like on the front end of social media for laundromats, it's not going to look like lots of people are engaging. It's just not. But you have to look you have to understand the back end. And so like it could look like you're reaching 10 people on the front end of your social media, and then on the back end you're reaching 20,000 plus due to targeting and the ads.
Yeah. Again, I need to just pause for a second and just recognize that Glenn is objectively my favorite person in this whole entire thing. So I'm just going to just say that. I mean, James, a close second, because he said somewhere in there to hit the like. I mean, this is just above and beyond Glenn. That's why we go to Chuck E. Cheese all the time. And you know, and just to dial it down or dial it back to just the very basics. And I think Ross makes a great point is, in order to post on your Google business profile page, you have to actually claim your business profile page. Yep. And you do that online. You can Google how to claim your Google business profile page. Takes a little bit of time. They're going to actually snail mail you something. I think they still do that. Snail mail you something.
Nope.
They don't do that anymore.
No.
Oh, well, what's the process?
We have entered a whole new world.
I love it.
And Ross can attest to this a little bit. So recently, some Google My Business accounts, they're letting you still get like a code mailed or texted to you. But a lot of the times now, they make you film a video, okay? And it can't be something that is filmed and then uploaded. You have to be on site and you have to click the link. Oh, apparently I'm going to pick up my phone, but you have to click the link and you have to show, like you have to be on the outside of your business. You have to show like the street address. And then you have to go inside, show the business and show like paperwork that verifies that you own the business. Yes. 2 months ago, we were doing this shenanigans.
Okay. Look at this, man. That's cutting edge right now. You guys are getting the forefront of what's happening right now with Google. This is incredible stuff.
And it is a pain in the butt. Oh. And also Google is glitching. I mean, pretty much ever since I've like ever spoke or talked about social media, I've said like glitching. But Google is the worst right now for glitching. And I will give them credit. This is the first, like the last 3 months, like this is the first time since I've been doing this since 2014. That I've
don't look at the comments.
No, it's wrong. That I've seen like major glitching going on with Google. So I do give them credit.
All right. Well, I'm not giving them credit. Get your act together, Google. Yeah. Glenn's like my hype man over here. I love this. The $1 billion mark. You know what? I'm gonna give you that laundromat and we will create that YouTube channel together when I make my first billion. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Yes. Okay. Link. Yes. Good. Ty said I had a guy leave a negative review because he said he saw 2 spiders in the store. You can't make this up. Yeah. That's one of the things. And, we should talk about that for a second because I think, it's so frustrating as a business owner when you get a negative review, especially when it's something petty like that, or especially when it's something false. And 2 kind of pieces of advice I have for you. Maybe Brittany, you can speak to this too. But number 1 is don't respond immediately. I have found I'm like a pretty level guy. I'm pretty level. But when you respond immediately, that generally is going to be an emotional response, and you're going to be much better off making a sound, logical response to a negative review than an emotional response. It's going to go over better because point number 2 is I think that negative reviews are the best thing that can happen to you in some situations because it gives you an opportunity to respond to that review. And if you can respond in a way that is poised, but that is firm and if you mess up, if you even just say, you know what, we messed up on your order, or you know what, there were 2 spiders, I don't know, whatever. Like sorry that there were spiders there. Ew, I hate spiders, yuck or whatever. Come in next time, let us know and we'll give you a free wash. You can turn critics, you can turn haters into super fans by responding appropriately to reviews. Now there's some people out there, you just are never going to change their mind. They're just out there to watch the world burn, right? Like that just happens. But if you respond with poise and logic and, gracefully to somebody like that, people are going to see through that review and they're going to see, oh, that guy is just, he wants to watch the world burn. And that's actually a really good response. People will respect that when it's a negative review. Now, it doesn't always work like that, but those can be really great opportunities to demonstrate how you operate your business. And it can also give people that sneak peek into, hey, this is somebody that is trustworthy, right? And this is somebody that I like, and people want to do business with people they know, like, and trust, right? So yeah, you go.
Oh, no, you're 100% correct about that. And obviously, everyone in the world knows that, like, you have employees, they make mistakes, or someone's just having a bad day. And that's why it is important to respond to the bad reviews. Like, not responding is the worst thing that you can do.
Yeah.
But I have a rule with, like, my employees or anything. Like, if like a review or a comment or something comes in and it upsets me, like, I have like an emotional response, I wait 24 hours, because then that gives me the time to actually calm down and think about it, like, logically, and then I can prepare how I would respond. But yes, I agree with you, don't respond immediately. That's how I handle it. And then, but at the same time, you need to make sure that you do respond. So I've worked with a lot of laundromats that before working with us, like, they just wouldn't respond at all. Like a bad review,
Yeah.
they would just, and then, I mean, it's kind of like you want to tell your side of the story. But at the same time, if your employee is the one who has messed up or something like that, like, you need to apologize and say that.
Yeah. Own it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then that's going to, like, if current or maybe new customers are reading that, then they're going to see that and be like, okay, this person's taking responsibility and they have corrected the problem. And so then that's going to make them, like, want to use you.
Yeah. People understand when you make mistakes if you own it. People will burn your house down while staring you in the eyes if you try to deny it was your fault when everybody knows it was your fault, right? So just own it and make it right. And that's a great opportunity to do that. The other kind of tip that I have for you in this situation, like, if you have a hard time responding to negative reviews, the best thing you can do is get somebody else to respond to those reviews for you, a la Brittany and her team, because they're not going to be emotional about somebody, talking trash about your laundromat, right? It's not theirs. And they'll be a little more level-headed there. Which brings us to Tom's question, which is, and maybe you want to take this offline and point Tom somewhere else, or you can respond here. And if you do respond here, I just want to point out to everybody, this is as of the time of this recording, and it may change kind of going forward. But Tom says, what's typical budget for some of the services you provide? What can an owner expect to pay for things like SEO if they don't want to do the marketing themselves?
Yes. So Ross responded to a lot of, like, the SEO, geofencing, and that kind of stuff. As far as our, like, the social media packages that we provide, it ranges from like $450 to $2,000 a month. I mean, that's a wide range, but it also depends on what services that you're getting, like how many reels we're doing, how many stories we're doing, how much ad spend. So our budget includes ad spend that you're actually getting. So it very much, okay, so like a year ago, it didn't include ad spend, but we've had to start, like, building it in because the times are changing. And so, yes, so it very much depends. So we like to build custom packages for each laundromat that we're working with. The number one thing that my company does is that there's absolutely no contract. And because if we're making you money, then you're going to keep paying us.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, whenever a business can align their interests with yours, that is the makings of a good relationship. I guess as long as you're making them money. So yeah, which is easier said than done, which is why companies like yours exist, because it's hard to do that. And one thing I will say, just, and again, I have no like horse in the race for Brittany or any other marketing company at all. But one thing I will say is that if you are planning on doing ads, you need to plan on doing them for, I'd say at the very least, commit to 6 months at the very, very least, because it takes a little while to get everything dialed in and to figure out exactly what's going to work best for your market and to start seeing the results of that marketing. It doesn't happen right away. So commit to, I'd say, at least 6 months. And then make a decision there. What I see a lot of people do is they market for 2 or 3 months. They say, oh, I didn't get any business, and they stop. And all that money and the momentum that they were building up is all wasted. And it's just, you might as well just flush it down the toilet, right? It takes a little bit of time. So commit to at least, like 6 months, and then make a decision if you want to keep going forward.
Well, and you also have to study the demographic. You have to study the area. So obviously, marketing someone like a laundromat in Bardstown, Kentucky is going to be totally different than marketing someone in Los Angeles, California. I mean, it's just totally different. And especially if you're doing it yourself. So we're now at the point where we are marketing laundromats in about, I really do need to do the actual math, but I would say between 30 to 40 states is where we're in. So there's lots of different demographics. But especially if you're marketing yourself, you've got to know who you're reaching. You've got to know your zip code. You got to know what you're wanting to target. Is it apartment complexes? Is it like families? Like, what are you looking for? And then you also have to be able to go on the back end and reach those people through your ads.
Yeah, exactly. And it just takes a little time, right, to get it all dialed in.
Yes.
I do think that you should run some experiments with Ross and run it as if he's in Kentucky.
He just bought some property in Tennessee or something.
That's right. Yeah. So, well, all right, there you go.
Hey, he throws me for a loop all the time. Sorry, Ross.
Well, but that's genuinely, I think that's what makes Ross a legend, right? Like Ross he is willing to try stuff. He is willing to pivot. He is willing to push the boundaries of what he's doing. And literally, he's literally a legend in this industry. And that is a big core component. That and his Amex cards are the big component of why he is a legend in this industry. And he is.
And he was raised in Kentucky.
Well,
part of it.
It's kind of despite that.
He went to high school in Kentucky.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ross.
I'm not sure he really wanted that to be public knowledge. I don't know.
Hey, I can say it. I still live here.
I like Stuart's comment here. Going back to the spider review. I don't know if you are in Australia. That could be deadly. That would be worth a 1-star review. So I don't know. There's some deadly stuff going on there. Okay, we kind of talked about this, but I want to pin you down here. Anthony has a question. We sort of hit this question already, but let's pin it down. I think I know what you're going to say, but if you had to choose one social media marketing platform, one and one only, what would it be?
For laundromats, it would be Facebook.
That's what I thought you were going to say. Why?
Because a lot of the older generation is still on Facebook. A lot of people who are not native to the United States or different cultures, they are very much still on Facebook, and people who are in poor areas of the United States, that is mostly their primary platform that they're going to use.
Yeah.
And
even over Google.
I don't view Google.
I do right now for this question. Google or Facebook? You can only have one. Which one? I'm putting you on the spot. You have 5, 4, 3, 2. Facebook?
as far
I
as
just straight up applied the pressure to you and made you.
yes, I mean, as
Love
far
it.
as like laundromats would go, because people, so if they're searching like laundromat near me, then of course it's going to be Google. But at the same time, Facebook is starting to become a search engine, and and Facebook and Instagram is going to become a search engine. But so if they are searching,
Don't look at the comments. Stop it.
I
You're in
know,
the middle of a sentence. You need to keep it going.
I know I'm going to work with it. But if they are searching for you, then that's where Google would be far superior. And I say Facebook because it has so many other avenues to get more customers. Like Google's there, it's SEO, but those people most of the time have to be looking for you. With Facebook, you can target people that didn't even know that you existed and who need your services, whether it be self-service, wash or fold, or pickup and delivery. So,
Yeah.
I mean, they and the truth is they both play. They're both like equal to each other, really. Now, Instagram.
Well, they're not equal because you chose Facebook over
I
Google.
did.
So
I mean,
maybe they're close, but they're not.
Mhm.
Obviously,
Well,
Facebook is superior.
honestly, I don't even look at Google as a social media
I
platform.
do for this question.
It's a search engine.
Facebook is superior. You just said Facebook is becoming a search engine, so
It is.
it's
But
all
not
the same.
social media.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No, Google really is like a search engine. It's to find out information, that you're looking for.
Totally.
Facebook is social media where you can target people with your ads and they don't even know that you exist, but they want your services and they don't know that you exist. So that's why I would choose Facebook.
Yeah. Awesome. 56 minutes in, and we've got some more questions. So I love it. Let's keep it rolling. Websites. Do you need a website to make your business grow?
Yes, you have to have that
I was
landing
going to say,
platform.
don't disagree with Ross. I already told you he's a legend, and James also a legend.
Yes. No, you have to have it. Now, do I think 10 years from down the road our website's going to be as prominent as they are now? No, I don't think they're going to be, because social media platforms are turning into search engines. Now,
This is bold. Okay, I just want to mark this. This is May 3rd, 2023.
Mhm.
May 3rd, 2033. We're going to look at this and see if you were right that websites are not that big of a deal. I'll be curious.
I mean, in
See.
like 10 years.
No,
Yeah.
you've put it out there now. There's no taking it back.
No.
I'm gonna turn this into like a looping clip, a looping reel.
Especially for businesses that aren't like getting customers or selling products through their website. So like if you're doing pickup and delivery on your website, then yes, that's always going to be super important. But if it's just like a platform where they can get more information about your business, then no, it's not going to be as important in 10 years, in my opinion.
Nice.
So it depends what you're doing.
I will answer this next question, which is, are there any resources to build a website? I'm just going to point you. I have a free course on my website on how to build your own website. And I literally build a website on screen and show you step-by-step exactly how to do this. So that's one, if you want to do it yourself. However, if you want somebody to do it for you, do you have any places to point them?
Your brother, right?
Yeah, we also do that. Yeah. Just reach out to me if you need help with that, and I can connect you up. We build laundromat websites all the time, and they perform very, very well on SEO. I will make that bold claim. Awesome. Okay. So this is a great question from the wealth building journey. So I feel like there's a lot of pressure on this question because you were literally helping somebody on their wealth building journey right now, depending on how you answer this question. So I feel like somebody's fate is in your hands right now. So what would you recommend for a budget? Should they base it off a percentage of revenue, or should they pick a fixed amount? Should it be based on the number of washers and dryers? How do you think about budget as a laundromat when it comes to social media marketing? Ads specifically.
Okay, this is a new one. I've never had it asked like that. So it is definitely. So like we have set packages where the ad spend is built in for the budgeting. And okay, I'm gonna put it like this. I have clients, like very small laundromats, that are paying $50 a month in just ad spend. Like that's all they're spending on ad spend. Are they getting results? Tiny, but it's like a slow growth. I mean, you got to understand that. I have had clients who, for their grand opening, spend $2,500 for 1 month just on advertising on social media, and their like results were absurd for their grand opening. So, minimum, like the absolute, in my opinion, the absolute lowest that you would want to spend. And so this is a tough question, because where are you located? What's your demographic? How close is the nearest laundromat? Because like in LA, there's a laundromat every block. In Kentucky, where in my town that I live in, there's one laundromat, and it's a zombie mat, and people literally drive 30 miles to go to the nearest laundromat.
Yeah. Okay. So
that's a good question.
Yeah, no, it's a great question. And I'll just say, somebody asked, Be Joyful 29 asked Brittany's company information. That's Centers Social. You can Google that, or I think it's just centersocial.com, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Centers, not Z, or centerssocial.com, with S's. Oh man, now I forgot what we were just even talking about. What were we just talking about?
Oh, ad spend.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to say, so I talk with laundromat owners all the time, and more and more laundromat owners are adding into their budget money for ad spend. And that had not been the case forever. This is a fairly new phenomenon in our industry. And what I see the majority of people do is a majority of owners are picking a percentage of their revenue and spending it that way, at least on paper. Now, how they're actually implementing it, I'm not actually in their ads manager accounts, so I don't know. But on paper, a lot of people are picking a percentage. Now, again, like Brittany says, it depends on a whole lot of things, like the size of your laundromat, what services you're offering, that kind of thing. And probably the most common percentage I see is 5% for ad spend. Some people spend more than that. Some people spend less than that. Some people spend zero than that. So yeah. And Stuart says Facebook is dead in Australia. Instagram's big. Too old for TikTok. You're never too old to dance in a Speedo in front of the world. So I'm just pointing that out there, Stuart. Think about it. Stuart disagrees with you and says Google, not Facebook. But you know what, Stuart? You're just wrong. I mean, you can't go against Brittany. Brittany is like the authority here, and you're just wrong. I mean, there's
no, I think you have to look at it in perspective.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you tried to skate around it by saying Google's not a social media.
It's not a social media.
Okay. All right. Kendo, this is just a layup for me. What's the best resource on information getting started with laundromats? Well, Laundromat Resource is the best resource, obviously, for getting started with laundromats. But in all seriousness, I do have a free course there too on how to start a laundromat business, how to buy your first laundromat. You can go take that for free, laundromatresource.com, maybe /courses, I think. You can go take that. It's just 3-part course. It's going to give you a lot of really good basic knowledge to get you started. But there's a lot of other great sources of information. Ross Dodds has a Facebook group, Laundromat Owners, but it's dead in Australia. So if you're in Australia, just don't even bother. All the poisonous snakes and spiders killed Facebook on Australia, maybe. I don't know. But that's a great resource there where owners are getting, connected and stuff there. And then there's some other platforms too. Dave Menz, Laundromat Millionaire, has a podcast. Mark Vlaskamp from The Fold, he's got some information on his website. So there's some information sources out there. But listen, when you're looking for resources on the laundromat industry, Laundromat Resource is kind of the resource. So there it is for you. You have found it. Okay. Yelp versus Google reviews.
Okay, I can answer that.
Yeah, me too.
Yelp is pay for play. You're gonna get better reviews, and then they're gonna contact you and be like, "Oh, we can take this down if you're gonna pay us all this money." No, it's nonsense. I feel very strongly about this. If
Yeah,
you can't tell.
Me too.
Now,
Also, Ross, the legend, feels strongly.
But I mean, it's just nonsense. Now there are still people out there using Yelp, but it is a dying thing, and it needs to die, in my opinion. That's just. What do you think, Jordan?
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like we should just let's go back to Ross's comment over here. I don't even know what this comment was about, but I'm just gonna put it back on the screen. Because I think it works. If it doesn't work, burn it down. Amex will fix it. So I think we should do the same thing with Yelp. Let's just burn it down and then let Amex do its thing.
Yes.
Whatever that looks like in this situation.
Because it doesn't give the customer the true reality. Like, oh, if you pay them a bunch of money, then the review is going to be removed. Well, what about if it's a business that is totally awful?
Yeah. Well, and I will say that naive me. I mean, probably most of you guys have heard about my many mistakes that I have made along my journey. One of the big ones was I did early on pay Yelp for advertising, and it took literal years to get them off my back after the fact. And I never really saw any results from that. So it was a rough go. So I would recommend not paying Yelp. It's not really small business friendly. So yeah. This is a great question from Glenn, my super best friend over here, which is a great question. You didn't really talk about YouTube. Do you recommend committing to putting time into a YouTube channel for your business, or will it be just too difficult to grow? I think that's a great question. You have a dude, and right under here, splash him out. We've got Jodan Reed on here, another legend in the industry. So anyways, go back to YouTube. What do you think about that?
So that is a yes and no answer. So, yes, if you can get it to grow and your content can be good enough. So everybody wants to be a YouTuber. Ask any 6 to 10-year-old out there, they want to be a YouTuber and they want to have a YouTube channel. But if you can come up with content that is actually like important or engaging that people are going to watch, then yes. So like if you are in your laundromat and you're showing like the true ins and out, like, this is just an example, and I've had this happen to employees yet. Or like if your water lines bust, post that. Or if someone steals all of the copper out of your laundromat, posting that. I mean, but it's gonna have to be. It's really a full-time commitment as far as posting that kind of stuff. So yes, it is great with posting that, and then to get all of those followers. Now, at the same time, just posting your stuff. So Google owns YouTube, and so it does help with SEO. So if you're just posting like, a video every now and then, like once a month or whatever, it will slightly help with your SEO. But for YouTube, in order to really get it to work, I mean, it's a major time commitment. Nothing way more than what, Facebook Reels or Instagram would be.
Yeah, and I will just second that. This is and when you say everybody wants to be a YouTuber, I will just say that nobody has in mind the kind of YouTuber that I am, that I do. It's a lot of work. I'll just be honest with you. It's a lot of work. Even, I mean, you'll see like the people like Brandon Schlichter, who's an investment joy. He does the coin collections, following Keenan. I mean, you guys have seen probably some of the other YouTubers who are doing that stuff. I don't know how much business it actually is bringing into their actual business. I mean, legitimately, that's not why they do. I don't know if you're laughing at a comment that I
I am. I'm laughing at Ross.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Great.
Someone stole all the copper out of his laundromat.
That happened to me too. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Somebody came through the roof and stole copper out of my insanity. Yeah. So, YouTube is tough. I mean,
it is.
But Jodan Reed just said, "Hey, YouTube is a bomb," and I'm posting a link to his YouTube channel right there. I didn't even know I wasn't subscribed, but I am. I knew about it, so I don't know why I wasn't subscribed, but I am now, Jodan. And thank you for commenting on that. But go follow Jodan. He's got a lot of stuff going on. I think he's actually building out a new store. So go check all that stuff out with Jodan Reed. I put on there Ryan Shoemaker, another former podcast guest and legend, says just go with what Ross says for everything, basically, which is great. Okay. Yeah, Ross, this is another great comment from Ross. Dude, we need to do one of these live Q&As. I think people would love that. So let's do that. I think once you're established and running, you could probably plan a yearly ad spend, but in the beginning, ad spend was way more than revenue percentage. Yeah. So that's a good little piece of advice here. Yeah. Okay. What do we got here? I'm filtering through the questions. I didn't see this. Ross said you must send him a nice Napa cab in order to join the Facebook group. Yeah, that's awesome. But I will say it'll be worth it because you'll get to hear about all the delivery van accidents that Ross and his crew gets in over there, and that's worth its weight in gold right there. Yelp reviews are worse than Google reviews. Yeah, not the only one thing. Yeah, absolutely. And listen, the conspiracy theorist in me thinks that that's by design. I don't know if that's true or not, but Glenn says, I want to hear Brittany's political points of view with the same passion. I don't know what you were talking about when you wrote that, but that's pretty funny.
My opinion on Yelp.
Oh, the Yelp thing. Yeah, that's hilarious. A budgie. Stuart says they're budgie smugglers in Aussie, not speedos. Okay. I really like that. I'm just catching up to all the comments. I'm trying to filter through the questions, but okay. What website is the best to look for? Okay. I'm off subject a bit, but what website is best to look for a laundromat? I'm assuming you mean to look for a laundromat to purchase, which is a little bit off topic, but if you're looking for a laundromat to buy, I mean, just Google laundromat for sale near me. That is the best. You'll see a bunch of listing sites there. I will just say, and I say this all the time lately, it's difficult to find laundromats for sale right now. That is kind of the trick. What's that?
That's what she was asking.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's kind of the trick right now is just finding that laundromat deal. So you'll see sites like Biz Buy Sell, BizBin, BizQuest, Biz whatever. And I recommend reaching out to the brokers also who are listing those laundromats. Okay. Yeah. Make sure you go follow Jodan's YouTube channel there. Awesome stuff. Yeah, lots of copper getting stolen. Okay. So if you got questions, get them in now because we're wrapping this sucker up. We're already over time, but I felt bad because of all the botching early on. So get those last few questions in and we'll get to them. And thanks for sticking with us so far. So Anthony says, how knowledgeable should a laundromat owner be in maintaining and fixing their own machines? Brittany can really respond to this one. What do you got?
Contact your distributor. That's all I have for that one.
Well, this is an easy question to answer because it's the same answer to everything. And it depends. It depends on how you want to run your business. Ask Ross if he's in there turning wrenches and, whacking his knuckles, working on machines. He's not. A lot of other owners, I know Dave Menz does not do that, but a lot of owners do prefer to do that. But, one of the things that I think is spouted off in our industry that I think is not true is a lot of people in the industry say, hey, you will never make money unless you know how to fix your own machines. And that's just categorically not true. I don't know what's happening over there in the comments, but it's not fitting with my Cabernet time. Yeah. So it depends on how you want to run your business. Long story short, some people love working on the machines and, that's what they want to do. And some people are not mechanically inclined and like drinking wine too much and they're not working on their own machine. So it depends. Okay. I want to make sure I'm not missing any.
I don't think you have.
Okay. We're good. Okay. Okay. Dealt with 3 brokers. Are you trying to just make a profit? Yeah, that's okay. Good. All right. I think we're good. Guys, Brittany, this was awesome. Oh, wait. The last question. We need your one top hair tip because you're having such a good hair day.
Have your best friend own an Aveda salon.
Oh, well, that's a great tip. Okay, then my follow-up question is how do you actually get a friend? Like, how do I make a friend? How do I do that?
You have to find someone weird like you who enjoys weird things and that doesn't like a whole lot of people, and then you'll just be friends like she and I are.
I love that.
No, but I mean that's actually that's kind of a little
true. Yeah, actually that's kind of true. Okay, good. The next Q&A, Brittany, you're gonna do is gonna be how to make a friend. And so if you need that one, join. Yeah,
I'm not that great at that. I'm usually like kind of
don't downplay
honest, and a lot of people don't like that.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I like you. And these people who have stuck with us for like a really long time talking about social media for laundromats of all things also like you. So really, in all seriousness and genuinely, really, really appreciate that you took the time to come on this thing. If you're interested in learning more about how to, pass off your social media management for your laundromat, check out Center Social over there. And she does a really great job, and it will be awesome. Following Keenan has some stuff. Laundromat How To is another one that has some how to fix your machine stuff. So if you're looking for resources, YouTube is how you can learn anything from an appendectomy to fixing laundromat machines. So, Brittany, thanks so much. All you guys loved again. Loved the chat and everything going on in there. Thank you guys all for for chatting there, and appreciate you guys. Ross says see you at Excellence in Laundry, which is next week, and we'll see you guys at the next whatever webinar or podcast episode or YouTube video or whatever we see at. But
thank you guys.
Brittany, you're a rock star. Go take care of those baby ducks.
Thanks.